Chef Blaze. I haven't done that in a long time. Maybe I should try to bring it back. I guess I could start with the basics episode, maybe. Hello guys, it's Chummath Entertainment doing a Chef Blaze video. Chef Blaze is back. I'm here to give a ton of wisdom on cooking and whatnot. I've been gone for like 3.5 years at this point. I'll explain why later. But I am here for a refrigerator basics episode. So you can't just come back out of nowhere with cooking. It's been a long time. So I figure I've only ever done one basics episode with microwaves. So I figure this is a good time for another one for my return. Finally, I'm back. Okay, so I will have to kind of move off the tripod a decent bit this episode, unfortunately. So the camera work might be awful. I don't really use cameras much, like ever. So I'm usually focused on my cooking. Camera work, I really have like no experience with it outside of these Chef Blaze episodes. So anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at this refrigerator. Let's go off the tripod here. So as you can see, this is a refrigerator. You can see above it as well if you are vertically gifted like I am. If not, L. So first up, you might notice there are no fridge magnets. That is the first thing. Do not use fridge magnets. They don't look good. The refrigerators are meant for cooking. They're very special. It's not your personal art project. Listen, like the only people who are going to see this anyway are your friends and family, right? So just go post it on DeviantArt and the same people are going to see it anyway, and that'll be it. So with that said, here's our refrigerator. Here's what it looks like. Now you might be saying, my refrigerator does not look like this. What do I do? Get rid of it, buy this one. That way you could follow along. So, now, and some people might also say, well, mine's better. It's a smart fridge. No, it's a spy device. People just want to look at what food you have. And there are sensors in there that will make it worse over time. It specifically will make your food worse to get you used to mediocrity, because that's how they get you. Anyway, so with that said, let's just go and look at this thing. You have some ventilation underneath there. It's hard to see, but it's underneath there. Gotta have that. And you might notice there's this little panel here. What does this do? You have the options button there. Their thing, hard to see. Up and down. This just basically cycles through different options. What are the options? They're options. There's also a lock here. This completely locks down your refrigerator to make sure no one can access it no matter what. You also have set with plus and minus. This is this adjusts your volleyball sets, so raise or lower how high you toss them before you hit the ball. Then you have this light here. This light, unlike refrigerator, not okay. Hold on, I got my words mixed up. See, it's been a while, I'm rusty. But anyway, this is not like the microwaves where it's an IQ button. This is just a light. We also have the freezer temp and the refrigerator temp. We have 0 degrees and 33 degrees. So 0 degrees, it just sounds cool, honestly. That's why it's there. Refrigerators being 33 degrees. See, if it's 32, that's freezing. You don't want that. So you gotta just kind of do one above. It's like those game shows where you put your price like $1 above someone else's just to be an asshole. It sends a message to the freezer, really, that you're 1 degree above freezing. You also have these options here: water, cube, and crush. So you have this little dispenser under here. You can probably see that. That dispenses water, cubes, or crush. Crush as in the drink, you could have like orange crush or whatever. Water's water, cubes. Just stay away from that one. I'm just gonna say that right now. So what else do we got here? Obviously, there's not a whole lot else to the refrigerator outside, but this is actually a special refrigerator because it's actually a refrigerator and a freezer. This left door right here, this is a freezer. Let's go ahead and open it up. You can actually see the inner workings of a freezer. Very, very special gameplay here. So you can really see everything in here. You just see a bunch of stuff. Got the doors here. You got some stuff you could put on those. You got some stuff under here to hold stuff in, and yeah. But you might notice, you know, outside of like these top shelves, there's some other stuff up here. This thing. So this is just a cool aesthetic. But this right here, this is where the ice comes from. So you know how like there's water, and so yeah, like this is ice. It keeps the freezer cold, but also it works as water. So there's actually an interesting cool down mechanic to where if you get too much water out here, you run out of ice in here, your freezer stops working. It's a mess, so you have to be careful how much you're using, and of course it's going to make noise now. Okay, yeah. Also got a light in here, by the way. These lights are always on. It doesn't matter when you close the fridge. That's a myth. They always stay on. Again, that is a myth. You can see it is still on inside of there no matter what. So yeah, see, it just kind of becomes harder to see. That's all. There's no... It doesn't actually go off or anything. It might look like it, but it doesn't. That's the freezer. Just a little bit of a bonus. I wanted to go over it because it is a part of this the set here. So there you go. We also have the refrigerator. This is the main part that you want to pay attention to. So we have a bunch of random stuff in here. I don't even know what half this is, but there's different outside of the foods. This isn't, you know, my own personal refrigerator. I have 18 of those elsewhere. I'm not going to show them. But we have a bunch of stuff here. We have some drawers. You got 3 of them. You have this underneath section. You got this bigger section. You got this small section on the top here. You also, of course, have this. This is, of course, the just kind of the door. You got a few different shelves going on here. 4 of them. For some reason, these bottom 2 are different. I don't know what the hell happened. Like these top 2 have like a white plastic piece. These bottom 2 don't. I don't know why. This is for your eggs. You specifically have to use eggs here. You are not allowed to use anything else. It has been banned in 87 countries. You cannot use this for anything but eggs. So yeah, that's what it's there for. Only put eggs here. So yeah. Now, we also have some of the stuff in here. So yeah, you have a bunch of different stuff happening. You have lights. Again, these lights will not... Well, they just never go off, right? They never go off, like I explained with the freezer. You're good to go with them. Outside of that, you of course have, you know, these are just kind of like spots to put stuff, obviously. Nothing crazy. Again, I wanted to start off with something that's not overly complex. Again, I'm rusty, it's been a little while. Still the best chef in the world, don't worry. But, you know, you gotta go with something a little bit simpler to start here. We also have this thing up here. This weird thing right here. That is a nuclear warhead right there. You see that, like, white thing? You see this, like, right here? Yeah, that's a nuclear warhead. That is what powers the fridge. And, it is something else. So in those movies where, you know, people get in, like, the refrigerators or whatever, you're not helping. You are just getting closer to that blast radius. Anyway. Then there's this thing. This is a Pure Air Ultra filtration system, apparently. Actually, just kidding. I knew that the whole time. So this purifies the air. So when some asshole puts onions in the refrigerator, this helps to purify it so the onions don't just get onto everything. Because here's the problem. When you have onions in the refrigerator, it ruins everything else. You have to throw out everything in there. You have to throw out the entire refrigerator. So having this system in here is very, very beneficial to make sure this does not happen. Also worth noting that there are these drawers. We have the chill drawer, and these 2 bottom ones are called the fresh drawers. The fresh drawers basically just give you nice pairs of pants, and then the chill drawer, this just allows things to chill. So if you have some food that seems, you know, pretty normal, you know, it's doing its thing, it's chill. You put it in the chill drawer. That's all there is to it, and that is the refrigerator. That's everything you really needed to know. Covered it in less than 10 minutes. That is a world record. So with that said, that is a refrigerator. That is what it does. So with that said, okay. So where have I been, right? That's the big question. Obviously, this was just sort of a I'm back video. I just had to do something kind of basic just to get that message across. But why have I been gone? Why have I been gone for 3.5 years? And why is my dog licking the floor? I don't understand some stuff. But anyway, I've been gone for 3.5 years. My last video was my spooky Halloween episode in 2019. Things have changed since. So, basically what happened is I got my words mixed up in that episode. I mentioned how you should keep 2 mini plates on you at all times, but then I mentioned something about keeping 1 plate on you, and it just was kind of a little bit of a mess in terms of words, and basically they wanted to revoke my chef's license, unfortunately, and I thought that was a bit of a problem. So I went on the run and basically started a war with the International Board of Chefs, which I actually am in charge of. But then they were like, the people underneath me were trying to, go against me, and I'm like, okay, we're not doing that. And then that was a whole battle. But then, of course, the world went to shit within a few months, and then basically everything's been in limbo for years now. And finally, last year, I was sentenced to a year without my chef's license, even though it had already been like over 2 years at that point. I don't fucking know. It just happened. And that's what happened. That's where I've been. And after getting sentenced for a year in March of 2022, came back for March 2023, had to, make sure I was still the best chef in the world, no worries I am. And after just making sure of that, I'm back. And yeah, so I will be around to make things from time to time, because of course that is what I do best. And that's all. That's all I gotta say. Just coming back casually. Very casually. Anyway, that's all for this video. So, I'll come back with more words of wisdom eventually. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye. This time I should probably go for something food-related. Hello guys, it's Chummuth, and we're here to another Chef Blaze episode. Already. I didn't take 3.5 years this time to make a new one. It's only been 2 months. That's not a new record, but it is something. So today we're going to be making a sandwich. I'm going to be calling it the late night sandwich. It is a type of sandwich that I commonly make at night when I'm ready to eat something. See, I'm actually nocturnal, because every great chef should be nocturnal. Make sure to inconvenience every normal person's eating times. It is currently 1:30 a.m. So I figure, by the time I'm done with all this and everything's all good, it'll be like 2 a.m. Good time to eat, I would say. So anyway. First thing you need to make a sandwich, the most important thing of all, a plate. Now, this is something important. So plates, obviously, you'd expect to have for the sandwich, at least normally. Or just with like most foods in general, you want like a plate or something. I guess it depends on what you're eating, but like if you have any food that can make crumbs and you're not using a plate, what's wrong with you? I see people, I've been given stuff before where it's like, oh, here's like, I don't know, a cookie or something. They give me a napkin. Like, fuck am I supposed to do with this? Like, I'm not catching crumbs with a napkin. It's like a challenge to catch every crumb as it falls with this napkin. It doesn't work like that. Just use a plate. I've seen people like do this with sandwiches too, where they don't have a proper plate. Crumbs just fall. Like, do you want to have to vacuum? Who wants to vacuum? No one does. Just use a plate. It's not that hard. We have a paper one. You can use like a normal one if you want, like the steel ones. I think that's what they're made out of, and go with that. But honestly, like, I don't want to do dishes either. So here we're using this plate. As far as the materials that I have here, we have some this mini sub buns. These are nice. I like these buns, and oh boy, what does that date say? It says June 5th. Okay, what's today? June 5th. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's Best by June 5th. So here's the thing. If you see dates when, it's like June 5th, right? Today's June 5th. If it says use by June 5th, stop using it by like the 2nd. If it says best by, like this one, best by June 5th, 5th is the last day it's good. If it says use by, you stop using that shit ahead of time. It's not worth it. Mold, look, okay, I actually had an incident recently, this isn't even a joke, where I actually bit into mold. See, I was gonna make this episode a while ago, but that was a problem there. Mold, I don't know how I survived, but I did. Now I'm here to make this Chef Blaze episode. So we're gonna get out the buns here. We're gonna awkwardly reach around the tripod and undo it. So twist ties suck. I've mentioned this for years now. Twist ties are garbage. I don't know why we haven't found a better means of storing things yet, like to close bags. Like, I feel like it'd be much more effective to just like spin the bag or have like a clip or something, not one of those garbage plastic clips. You know those other things that they sometimes use instead of twist ties, like those plastic squares? Those are just like awful. Like, who came up with them? Why is it so inconvenient to close a damn bag? It shouldn't be this much of a challenge. I don't understand it. So, okay, we got our bun out. Now we gotta make sure all the air's out. You don't want any molds growing in. Okay, we got that nice and closed. Then you spin the bag. Now, once the bag is adequately spun and this is tight, you're going to take the twist tie. If I could reach around here, that'd be helpful. You're going to pull that as much as you can, and then just start twisting for a while, and then give up. Put this underneath like that. We're done with that. We have our bun out. Now it's time for the inspection. You gotta inspect for mold. Sometimes it hides. Okay, we're good. Opening it up. We're good. No mold. Nice bun here. Listen, mold causes blindness. Yeah. Anyway, and we gotta get the ham. This is the lunch meat variety. It's not really authentic ham. I don't even think it's real. It's probably like fake or something. But we're using it anyway. I don't care about the consequences of using preservatives because I don't know anything about food. That's a joke, of course. I know everything about food, but yeah. So we just have this lunch meat. I'm actually, the reason I'm using this fake lunch meat is because most people use this. I'm just trying to appeal to the masses here, as I usually don't do, but I'm doing it here. As far as how many slices you want, just take like a few. Just kind of eyeball it. Like, that's too much. Like 2 pieces. Maybe take like 1 more here. It's stuck together. Okay, that's good. That's like 3 pieces right there. You fold it over like that. You slap it down. Okay, that's actually really thin. Let's grab like 1. Okay, yeah, these are really thinly sliced. So this is another problem I have with ham. They're never consistent. Like, why is this slice significantly larger than all of these like slices combined? Now it's like, okay, there is now too much ham. I now have too much ham in my sandwich, but now I have to make a choice. Do you want too much ham or too little ham? There isn't a good option here. I don't want to waste food, but I also don't want to be hungry. So I guess we're just putting more on, because yes, it just seems like the better of the 2 options. But seriously, why is this not a consistent process? I swear, every time I get this ham, it is inconsistent. I've had slices that are like the whole ass ham. There isn't a slice. It's just the entire ham. That's it. Deal with it. Other times, I've seen public restroom toilet paper with more thickness than the ham slices. I don't understand it. What happened here? How is there not a consistent method yet? Like, it's what, 2023? Just kidding, we all died in 2012. The world actually ended. We're in a simulation. Anyway, but we're in pretend 2023? Like, why don't we have anything yet? Like, there's no consistency with the ham. It's terrible. Anyway, the last part of the sandwich here is actually this mozzarella cheese. It's Kraft, very legitimate cheese, as you could see. It's definitely some real cheese. It's made with 2% milk. So you have 2% of this cheese is milk. The other 98% is, well, it came from somewhere. We don't know where, but it's grown in a lab or something of the sort. So we open up this Ziploc bag here. Again, just kind of eyeball it. I just like to grab some cheese and throw it on. That's probably too much, but you know what? We're vibing with it. And you let all the cheese just fall off, and then you just kind of, there you go. That's the sandwich. Now you might be saying, yes, there is cheese all over the damn place on the plate. However, sandwiches kind of suck. So what you do, you let some of the cheese fall off. So after you're done with the sandwich, you have leftover cheese, which is better than the sandwich itself. So it's a life hack. Do people still talk about life hacks? Is that like a relevant thing? I don't know anymore. I don't keep up with the internet. But also with Ziploc bags, you gotta be sure to get all the air out here. There we go, we got the air out. That's closed probably. Cheese. The date is August 19th, 2023, but as we all know, cheese dates don't actually exist for it. And that's the sandwich. That is the whole sandwich. It is made with bread that is almost stale, but not quite, so the mold has not grown. Made with ham that's not real, and cheese that is 98% not real, with 2% of it being milk. So this is not really a sustainable meal, I'm not going to lie, just a sandwich. Like, it's kind of a big sandwich, so we don't need much else, but you know what? I've historically put Doritos or whatever with my meals. Well, let's change it up. Let's have a banana. So, bananas, you know, they're a fruit. I imagine most people watching this have yet to hear about fruit. So fruit are these things that, like, usually grow on things, like trees or whatever. Bananas, I think, grow on trees or something of the sort, and they have these things you could, like, I'm not going to do it on camera because I don't want to waste it, but, like, you could peel them and like, a couple segments, and you, like, eat the inside part and you throw away the peel. So yeah, it's not just like a Mario Kart item. These actually do exist, and yes, fruit are supposedly, like, better for you or something. It's wild, but I feel like a lot of times, like, fruit are usually just kind of there. Like, they don't have much substance to them, so you really only can have them when it's, like, the smallest side possible. Like, they aren't developed correctly. Like, one of the devs is gonna patch this. When are fruit actually going to be sustainable, like, meals? Like, that'd be great. There's also vegetables. I think these are more sustainable as meals, but, like, vegetables. No, I'm not dealing with that. Hell no. Not having vegetables. That is a sin. That is a sin. It doesn't matter what you believe in. It is a sin of existence. Vegetables. There is a reason I never talk about vegetables. Oh my god. I might just make a whole video at some point where I rant solely about vegetables and the problems with them. We'll see. But yeah, bananas, they're okay. Although they don't make any sense, honestly. So you can see there's, like, these green parts here on, like, the bottom and, like, the top. So the green parts basically mean that it's, like, not ready yet, which is, like, fair enough. But then there's, like, the brown parts, which means that it's starting to, like, not go bad, but, like, it's starting to age. So you have the green and the brown. What the hell? Where's the consistency here? Again, it's like the ham. How is it both brown and green? Well, and yellow, obviously, but it doesn't make sense. It's... I don't know what happened here, man. Bananas just don't work. I think I found a bug in the game. They just are green, brown, yellow. Yeah, but it's a fruit. It's a real thing. Again, these are real. I would recommend trying them because if you're watching this video, I imagine you're pretty deep into the internet and you could probably use it. So anyway, that's all for this episode. I made a sandwich and showed a banana. That is what we do, and that's everything. So hopefully the sandwich, if you decide to follow along, is a acceptable thing to make. I am the best chef still, and so it will be better for me than it will be for you. However, I used normal people ingredients, so it should still be pretty good regardless. Again, don't forget bananas. Again, you can find these in real life. They grow on trees. There you go. That's everything for this video. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and goodbye. I'm sure I can figure out more stuff soon. I don't actually know. Maybe some more basics episodes? Hello guys, it's Channel 3 here doing another Chef Blaze. I'm back again. First off, I hope the audio is okay in this episode. I have to stand up and the tripod is quite a bit below me. That's a problem. Nothing I could do. If I sit down and you see my face, I cannot give away my identity. Anyway, I'll explain why it's been over a year since I've made another, well, I made a weekly blaze, not a weekly blaze, a chef blaze. You see, there's this whole issue, and the reason I got confused with weekly blaze is because it's also an unlisted series now. You see, Chef Blaze is now an unlisted series. Why is it unlisted? Well, because I'll explain later. Okay, we'll get to that. Why it's unlisted. Okay, anyway, today we're doing another basics episode. This time we're doing the stove oven basics. So yeah, they combine the stove and the oven into one. We'll start with the oven because I don't actually use the oven. Just kidding, I use it all the time and I'm not a fraud. So the oven. I guess pointing down, I have to move this whole tripod setup back, but so you can see down here, there's a lot going on. There's like this whole thing here, you got like a handle. Underneath there's another handle. So there's two handles. Which is the right handle? Well, the lower handle you're not actually allowed to open, so there's like, because that's where all the functions of the oven are. You see all the functions and whatnot. They're going on underneath there. That's how the oven works. And there's actually these like tiny, like almost elf-like creatures that run the oven. That's how it works. I know people say that it's like gas powered. That's not true. It's elves, man. It's magic. So don't disrupt them. Don't open that up. You are not allowed to do so. They will attack. Trust me. I've been there. Moving on. The higher part, the main door. This is just a door. You open it up. Now I am legally not allowed to open this oven. Anyway. So that's where the food goes. You got to be very careful. Now the thing is with the oven, if you use an oven, you got the food in there. It has to preheat. It gets hot in there. That's a problem. So when it's heating up your food, when it's done, you open it up. You take your food out. Make sure you have like oven mitts, okay? They're like these weird glove things. You gotta wear those. Otherwise your hands will melt. And I'm not even exaggerating, your hands actually just will melt off if you try and grab stuff without oven mitts. Like, it's bad. These things are just straight up a safety hazard. I don't know why they make them. Anyway, but let's get into the actual functions of the oven. I think that's a little bit more interesting. Let's move a little bit closer so we can have a better look at them. This back part here is where we get all of our functions. And yeah, so for some reason, like the stove, the functions are down here, and the stove is up here, but the oven's like even further below, but then the functions are up here. It doesn't make sense, man. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, so let's go ahead and try and zoom in a little bit here, so we can get a better look. And fix focus to some degree. I know it might be a little bit hard to see. I'll read it out. So, on the left side here, yet again, a light bulb. So these light bulbs tend to vary. So of course the microwaves, it was your IQ button. The refrigerator / freezer, it was a light. So what does the light bulb on here do? Nothing. It's not actually a button at all. It's just a symbol there. You see, they have to actually make the different appliances match, and it's they just want to feel included, that's all there is to it. Moving on, we have set clock, which I clearly have not done here. So set clock, you just get to set the time on the clock. It doesn't do anything else at all. You can see here it says 1:08. Now, it's hard to tell, because right now I do have the lights on here because it's cloudy out, but yeah, it's clearly not nighttime out. So it's not 1:08 a.m. That would make sense. But here's the thing, you already know it's not 1:08 p.m. either, because my ass would not be awake at 1:08 p.m. I am just not awake at that time. So, this is just wrong. It's actually 8:33 a.m. I have not slept yet. Okay. Moving on. Bake time. So this tells you how long you need to bake something for. Like you have the baking stuff, whenever you're baking, the instructions show you how long to bake something for. This just gives you like a reminder on how long to bake for. It doesn't do anything else, actually. Moving down to the other side, like the bottom part of the left panel, here we have self-clean. So this is great. Ovens don't have to be cleaned. I hate cleaning. Ovens, you click this button, the whole oven just self-cleans. It's great. I'm a big fan of it. Timer on/off. This turns your timer on and off. The problem is, what is a timer for? No one knows. You should probably keep it off, though, just to be safe. Then we have start time. So, in case you used your ability from Star Platinum, and you get glitched out, time just doesn't restart. This allows you can always come back to your oven, hit start time will start back up again. It's great. Underneath the time here, it says oven preheat door locked. That's just a script there. I don't know what it's about. It doesn't actually do anything. It just says that for absolutely zero reason. It's just there. I've contacted everyone I know. no one seems to realize. It's like there's different scripts in other ovens too. Like maybe it's poetry or something. I have no idea, man. It's just there. Then you have these arrows up and down. This allows you to reposition your oven up or down. If you click this button, the oven will move up. The problem is I have a microwave above this, so it'll actually just crash in, and you'll have some clipping problems with that. If you move it down, there's floor down there. Also clipping problems. You really have to make sure you are in zero gravity to make sure that works properly. Make sure it needs to be suspended in the air for that to work. Now on the right side here, we have 4 extra buttons. So first up here we have bake. Automatically bake stuff. Like, you don't need to put ingredients in it, just bake stuff automatically. It's great. Moving on to broil. I don't know what that word means, actually. Quick bake. So, now bake, this allows you to bake stuff automatically. Now, quick bake does the same thing, but quicker. And then lastly here, you have this thing, cancel. Well, man, if you use Twitter, this is a button you'll like. Also, if you hold it, there's a lock thing, and yeah, this basically, if you hold it long enough, whoever you're trying to cancel, they shut down their profile, they lock it. It's basically just very effective. Shows that you are in the right and not over-exaggerating something stupid. Anyway, so yeah, that's an oven. That's all the functions. So let's get to the stove part, because yeah, they do combine the ovens and the stoves. It's like a really cool little fusion thing they got going on. So here's the stove itself. So yeah, the stove, it's two different panels and whatnot here. You can see that they have these like metal constructions. These don't actually do anything, by the way. They're just there to look cool. There would be a much simpler method if you need to put like pans on there, but no, this just looks cool, honestly. Looks very abstract. You have 5 different things. You have these, on the sides here. The interesting thing is they're actually different sizes. So the one here, I have to zoom out a little bit here, but so the one on the top right, that is the smallest one. Then you have the one on the bottom left right here, that is a little bit bigger. Top left is like a pretty decent size, it's more like a medium size. Then you got the big ass one here on the bottom right. The center is its own thing. We'll come back to the center one. So we now have to get to what all of these do. And there's this whole little menu here. You got your knobs and stuff. So these knobs, they all do different things. Okay. So you could see there's some words. I'll read them out because unfortunately I can't get everything in the shot here, of course. But you can see all of these knobs. They have like an off lettering there. You got on the sides it says a light, and then high. So off, that just means it's off, of course. Light. So when if you push in these knobs a little bit and turn, it lights, and then a fire just bursts out of these things. It's crazy. And you have to turn it very quickly. If you don't turn from the light, this thing will just catch on fire. It's a very skill-based, quick time event. Once that fire pops up, you gotta turn that shit fast as hell, or you are burning your house down. On the other part here, it's just on the side here, it's hard to see, but yeah, it says hi. It's just telling you hi, that's all. It's just a nice friendly message. Now, as far as what each of the burners do, we'll start off with the small one. Okay, this one here. It's over there, it's hard to see, but it says simmer burner. So this one is for the top right one, the small ass one. Yes, this one is just about to simmer things. You see, if you have something, let's just say you already cooked it. Now, you don't want to eat it. You made your food, but it's like, I want to wait like a half hour. Put it aside, and then half hour later come back, you simmer it. Just kind of a little bit of a reheat without having to reheat it with a microwave. Because microwaves, they kind of ruin the flavor of like everything, so better to use simmer. If you ever get some leftover pizza or something, you put it on a plate, you burn the fucking plate on here, it simmers nicely, you get burnt pizza. It's awful, but you could say you use an oven, or a stove, which just sounds cooler. Now then we have the, kind of the larger ones, so the the top left, and then the bottom right. So the bottom right is the bigger one, but yeah, they're both they both just say quick boil. So with these, they quickly boil things. You turn them on, it boils. It boils fast. It's for any soup dishes or things that require any kind of water. That shit boils. And the small one over there, it boils very quickly. Like you gotta turn that on. 5 seconds before you gotta turn it off. It's already boiled. But this bottom right one, man, this thing's huge. Yeah, you turn that on. You have to. It's this whole skill challenge because you gotta hit the light properly. Flick it over quickly so it doesn't burn your house, and you have to immediately just flick it back to the left because it's already boiled. It's crazy. And then we have the one to the left here. This bottom left one. This one does not have a label. You gotta be careful. This is like for everything else you want to do. It's like your general one. Like if you're not boiling or simmering things, you put it on here. It sometimes works, other times it doesn't. It varies. But it's what you gotta do. You can't put anything that isn't boiling on the boiling ones. You can't put anything that isn't simmering on the simmering ones. And you also can't put things that are boiling or simmering on other ones. This one, you just gotta make do with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Now, this middle one here. Now, despite the absolute size, let me pick up the damn camera. Hold on, you gotta see this for yourselves. This thing, you can see all these burners, they're fine. But this thing's huge. So you'd think that has to be a specialized thing, has to be a special thing. It's unlabeled. It just has the centerpiece here. This is for show. You can't use this. If you there's a reason there's dust on that thing. You do not turn that thing on ever. It looks fancy. It's tempting. You want to turn it on, but you can't. This will immediately engulf the entire thing in flames. It burns your house down immediately. The whole challenge where you have to try and avoid the light button and just get it off immediately. Yeah, this thing, it doesn't matter. Your house is just gone. There's no challenge. The challenge is trying to run out fast enough. Well, that's it. This thing is too big to use. So there you go. That's the oven and stove. That's what all the things do. It's all correct. So anyway, why was I gone for another year? I last uploaded a Chef Blaze in early June of 2023. When this video goes up, it will be early November of 2024. What happened? I know I disappear for lengths of time a lot, but this one, again, is extended. I think this is the second longest gap I've had. The longest being the last one. Why did it disappear again? And also, why the hell are these videos unlisted now? So, okay. So you see, I said last time that I got banned from, cooking for a year. I said, it happened in March of 2022, the ban went through. And then in March 2023, I could come back. I took a month to get my bearings, and I was back. So apparently, they didn't disclose this, but the ban was supposed to start at the start of the U.S. government fiscal year. You know what that is? I didn't either. Apparently, it starts in October. So the ban was supposed to go from October 2022 to October of 2023. So I came back too early, and they didn't like it. They sent the Chef Pinkertons to me. That was a problem. So I had to go on the run again. And now we're good. We settled it in court. I made sure they couldn't show up to court. We're not going to get into that. But we're all good now. So, I'm the best chef in the world back to be my knowledge. However, I have to keep things on the low for now, you see. Because the whole situation, it was resolved, you could say. Yeah, anyway. But just to keep things, kind of undercover, I got to keep these unlisted. So, if you know, you get knowledge here. But if you don't know, they don't, you really don't know. So make sure to keep this quiet. Don't tell anyone about it. But also make sure to tell everyone about it so they can watch and learn. Yeah. That's where I've been. I am now back. And just to prove that I'm back, I know I don't upload these all the time, obviously. You can't embark, or imbue too much knowledge at once. It's crazy. But to prove I'm back, I will be uploading another Chef Blaze episode in 2 days. Yeah. The shortest gap ever. It's fucking crazy. You'll see. Well, no, it's not our basic episodes, but it is an important one. I'll see you there. Anyways, thanks for watching. and bye-bye. Hello guys, this is Chao Chef Blaze is here again. It's only been 2 days since the last episode. World record pace here. Another one already. Okay. So this time we're talking about dishwasher basics. I know this is kind of stupid, but trust me. As much as I hate it, and I hate it, cleaning is a part of cooking. So dishwasher's your best friend. The nice thing about dishwashers, you know, I hate, washing dishes, it's horrible. So these, you don't have to run them under a sink. You just open this thing up, you throw them in there, it cleans everything perfectly, no problems. It could be a messy ass plate, it just works, it is magical. I like it. So opening it up here, you can only open up so far because my tripod's in the way, but you can see inside there are some washed dishes already. So I'll actually move the tripod here so we get a better look inside. I have to lift this thing up, move the entire tripod, so we can get an in-depth look. This is how you learn. So in here, you can see, this is the inner wall thing. This is where like the soap goes. That's the only thing you have to do. Aside from throwing the dishes in here, you just put the soap thing in there. It just works. Any soap will do. You just put a little squirt of like hand soap in there. It's fine. The upper thing here, you can see there's a big fucking blade. So that's the thing. This thing only works when it's closed. But if you try to hack into the main frame of this thing and open it while it's working, you will lose a hand if you try and grab stuff. That thing is no joke. See a bunch of, racks and whatnot there to put all your dishes on. It's all good. You have a nice little, like, pulley system in there that works. Opening this up, another big-ass blade in there. That one has a blue steering wheel, so yeah, if this is the one time when you would need to open a dishwasher and use it. You have to be careful. But yeah, if the power goes out, you can use the blue steering wheel to manually operate this thing. Don't recommend it, but it is an option. Again, more rack things in there. You also have these little nice bin things for your smaller things like, forks and spoons and knives and really anything. You like, throw whatever in there. It doesn't have to be a utensil. If you want something clean, just throw it in here, honestly. If it's small in there, if it's bigger, you just throw it wherever. I mean, I clean my clothes in here, it's fine. Anyway. Now, let's move the tripod back over here. And we set this back down because I have the hand stability of a person with Parkinson's. Anyway, putting that back on, you can then open this up. And this, we get a nice little view. If this thing would fucking stay, Jesus Christ, that won't stay. Stay. Hey, guy, no, this thing really wants to close, man. That is not. Okay, so unfortunately for me, I'm gonna have to hold this thing. It won't stay. I tried, it's just not happening, so we're holding it. Okay, so let's zoom that in, not zoom it in, but yeah, you got Frigidaire Gallery, that's the brand. So what do all these extra functions here do? So you have my favorite, Hold 3S. This just explains to you the dishwasher's favorite thing. It likes when you hold it for 3 seconds. I'm holding it for a lot more than 3 fucking seconds because it won't stay open, but anyway. Power Plus. So, I mentioned earlier how if the power goes out, you have a manual option, but if the power is on, you can activate Power Plus, and it gives it more power. So the inside blades, they go even faster. So if you get a hand in there, not only are you losing your hand, you're losing the whole arm. It's just coming off. It's gone. Yeah, normal wash. This just washes things normally. Quick clean. It's like normal wash, but it's just faster. There's like never a reason to use normal wash. I don't even know why it's an option. But yeah, quick clean. It's just better. Simply put. Laying out top rack. So what this does is it only cleans the top rack. So in case if you, for some reason, just didn't want to clean the bottom rack, I don't know why, you can just do that. To my knowledge, there's no bottom rack thing, so I guess it just likes to be the top thing. Sure. Then we got Energy Saver. So Energy Saver, what this is actually a really cool function, I'm not going to lie. Dishwashers kind of suck. I don't like their functions. I like what they do, but I don't like their functions. But this is cool. So if you click this button, it starts to conserve energy. It takes all the electricity from around your neighborhood. You steal everyone's electricity. Their power goes out. They're pissed, but you get power. It's great. It's fun to troll neighbors with. But anyway, it conserves energy. So if the power does go out, instead of doing the manual thing, it just has backup power. It's awesome. Then we got rinse only. So rinse only. The blades don't spin. It just sprays things with water. It's really stupid. You could take a bath in there like that, though. If you want to like be a contortionist and fit in there, just sprays water. Take a bath in there. I mean, I guess. Moving on, we then of course get to these things. So this gives you these are some options here. Okay. So we have wash pressure and wash temp, and then dry. All right. So wash pressure. You got scour, surge, and spray. So this basically just describes how strong the dishwasher is going to be. Scour means that it's scouring it for power. It doesn't know where its power went. It's looking for it. This has like piss poor power, okay? Then I guess we'll skip down to spray. Spray. This just sprays things pretty hard. It's nice. Surge. You will cause a flood in your house. There will be surge flying out the sides of this thing. Your house is ruined. If you have a basement, it is gone. You only use surge if you have a really messy plate. Now, wash temp. This is how, the temperature is. The first part is sanitize. This makes no goddamn sense. This is why I hate dishwasher options. How the hell is sanitization an option? Because it uses hand sanitizer, yeah. There's a built-in dispenser inside that you can't see. It's hand sanitizer. It's an option, so I guess you want to sanitize everything you can, but why? Anyway, moving on. They got high temp and normal. High temperature, this is just hot. Again, good for showers if you like hot showers, which I think most people do. I don't, but it is what it is. They got normal if you just want to be boring, like why? Because sanitize is normal, right? So either you could choose to sanitize everything, be extra clean, have a nice hot bath, or just do neither and just be stupid. Why is this an option? I think they just wanted to fill out to have 3 of everything, which I don't like the number 3 anyway, but they did, and it's stupid shit like that. Then moving on to the last parts here, of course we got dry. So there is Sahara, heat, and air. We'll go bottom top this time, okay? So, air dry. This option means the dishwasher, it just doesn't dry anything. It just lets it sit, and it air dries, No drying capabilities. Again, why? You could steal everyone's power to make this thing work better. Just do that. Fuck your neighbors. Anyway, heat. This basically heat dries everything. It uses its actual power for once. Great. And yeah, you can dry things with the power of heat. And then there's Sahara. So what this does, right? This just transports your entire dishwasher. It just teleports. Just done. You'll have a big hole in whatever cabinet you have it by, right? It transports it to the Sahara Desert. And it also time travels if necessary. If it's not hot enough there, right? It'll time travel like midday during the summer. And it may make sure this shit gets dry, alright? Anyway, now we have these 2 things. We have delay start. 1 to 24 hours, hold the lock. This is one button. What is this? So anyway, delay start. This basically means you have a timer. You could delay the start of this thing. You could say, delays it. So if you want to, for some reason, load the dishwasher, say, you know what, I want this to happen at exactly 5 p.m. because that is symbolic of, I don't know, it's something, I guess. If you want to, for some reason, start at that time, you could delay it by like 8 hours, and there you go. Great. I don't know why it exists. Just start the fucking thing when you load it. Anyway. Sorry, dishwashers, I like them, but man, the functions are just so beyond stupid, it's frustrating. But I gotta explain it. Anyway, hold the lock. Basically, if you hold down this button and then close it, you're not opening this thing ever again. It's locked. There's no way to open it. There's no keyhole. You're done. You're getting a new dishwasher. Have fun with that. Anyway, then lastly, there are start and cancel. So basically, you press this button, and you gotta close this thing quickly. Then again, it closes like on its own anyway, so I mean, that's kind of helpful. But anyway, When you start it, the blades will start spinning, so you gotta close it quickly to make sure those blades don't launch a plate at your eyes. Trust me, I've been there before. I have new eyes now. Anyway, you can also decide if you're stupid enough, you could open this up mid-wash, hit this button to cancel the wash. Again, why would you risk opening that? If you get it closed, don't open it until you are done. It is a massive risk otherwise. It's bad. These things, as much as I like them, they have some jank to them. Anyway, now this thing can finally close. And yeah, that is a dishwasher. So it does clean your dishes. However, it doesn't quite do it the way you would think. You'd think you just load it up, it just works, you start it up, it's fine. But you got a bunch of options, and they don't make sense, and you have a lot of stupid features that are really stupid, and it's also dangerous. Like, what happened here? How did we go so wrong? It's supposed to automatically wash dishes, which is great, and then it's like, okay, let's make this a deadly weapon. What happened here? But that's a dishwasher. That's the last main appliance I actually had to go over, which is great. We already went over microwaves, went over fridges. Like, microwaves went over, like, what, 5 years ago? Fridges last year. A couple days ago we did, like, the stove oven. Now we're doing the dishwasher. I might do a video on some, like, other appliances, like smaller stuff. I might go over, like, a can opener, like a sink, toaster, coffee pot. Maybe just, like, some general random stuff, like a grab bag type episode, but yeah. This one is the most frustrating one because it's fairly straightforward, but also stupid. So the dishwasher's done. Now you know what it does. And now you know you have to be very, very careful with these. They're deadly. Or you can take a bath in it. Either one works. Also, don't make sure not to flood your house with a surge. That is dangerous. But there you go. That is the dishwasher. So anyways, I'll be back eventually. It might be a little bit longer this time, not 2 days, but hopefully, not a year plus. Hopefully within like the next couple months, few months. Maybe this year, if not early next year, hopefully. But anyways, that's all for this video, so thanks for watching, and bye-bye. I'm sure I still have at least enough for one more basics episode, right? Hello guys, it's Jonathan here doing another Chef Blaze episode. This time, I have kind of my basics finale. This is just sort of a grab bag of basics. If there's anything else that ever, comes out in a new updates, I will, maybe talk about it, but as of now, I think this is basically the end of the basics episodes. However, we have multiple things to cover today, because there's a lot of things, that are maybe not as intensive, but they do have an impact, and I think it is important to understand what they do. So first up, I'll just go over some of the random things I have in the house. Some of them are not really that important, other things are important. First up, we have this, I think it's called like a compressor or something. These are not real, don't use them. They're not worth your time. I see people with these sometimes, and it is very, very unimportant. Now moving on, I will have to kind of slide over here. It's a little bit awkward, but anyway. Now moving on to our next item. This is a can opener. Now, okay. A can opener. What does this entail? What is it all about? Well, it's not something you actually want to use, okay? Not at all. Now, if you could just get a can, there's someone that the pull times use that cans of pop or whatever, that's completely fine. The problem is when they don't. And here's the thing, don't buy those cans. It's not worth the effort to open them if you need a can opener. Now, if you need a can opener, here's the tech. These things are sharp, they are dangerous. So you can't go anywhere near them while they're open. What you have to do, you get something to encase the can opener in, put the can in position to be opened, have a string tied to whatever mechanism turns this thing on, close the thing, just have a little bit for the string to get out, a little bit of a gap, and then pull it from a distance, and then let it open the can. Also need something underneath to catch whatever falls out, it makes sense, but Do not put your hand, don't grab something, put your hand like here. You're going to lose a hand. We don't mess with can openers. Now, moving on to our next location, we have the sink. Now, okay, the sink. So I'll actually lift up the camera for this one. So, you got this. This is a thing. You can use it. You can turn it on and off with this little lever here. Alright, water comes out. This side, you know, it's for putting the dishes when you're done with them. They just kind of sit there. I mean, yeah, you have a whole half of a sink just kind of for nothing, but it is what it is. And this is for all the dirty stuff that you still need to wash. So, I made sure to fill it up with a few things just to kind of give an idea of what that looks like. Also, that little extra thing right there, it's like a soap dispenser. Yeah, that's just automatically dispenses soap. Don't have to worry about putting soap in there. It just comes out of the ground. It's great. I like it a lot. But yeah, sink's fairly straightforward, I would say. Now we have to go ahead and move on to our next location. And that is to this thing. And this is, of course, a toaster. Now, toasters, alright. So I am just going to give a very, very quick warning on toasters. Do not use them under any circumstance. They are dangerous. Like, they catch on fire, they don't toast properly, they're jump scares, they explode on occasion, they explode by default, things fly out of them. Like, you gotta put them under the counter to even use them because your food's gonna fly up and you need this counter above it. Like that, you know. In order to stop the fall. Or stop it from, you know, going too high up and then it falls, splats over, you know what I mean. And now moving on to our last thing. No, I still have a few other things to talk about, but I'll talk about why I'm not showing them and why they are not worth your time. But the last thing I have to show is a coffee pot. So coffee pots are very, very interesting. Actually, I'll pull this out a little bit here to get a correct angle. You see a coffee pot here? Okay, it's a pot with coffee. Like a tank in the back and whatnot. But most importantly, you have the functions here. So this is a Ninja coffee pot, so it's very quiet. Anyway, let's fix that. I'll probably read these out because these are very small letters. But so first up, coffee pots. I don't like coffee, but I know people need it to like wake up and stuff, so I will cover it. I mean, I've never had coffee, so I don't care about it. But again, this is something that I do think, you know, people use enough to where I think it's worth covering. And my dog is walking under my feet as we speak. Anyway. So, first up, these things, you gotta, you know, buy a good one. Buy one's like $200. It's great. And it also has this really cool built-in feature where after like a month or two, it breaks. And then you have to buy one with the new updates. It's so much fun. You get to buy multiple per year. They work very well. Anyway. Then you have the buttons here for this one. This is the current iteration as of, I'm recording this on November 7th, 2024. So in order to talk about these current, you know, features, again, updates happen. But yeah, there's two H's here. Not two H's. There's an H and an M. I don't know why I read that wrong. So H is for high, M is for medium. That's how much it fills. Medium, it fills to around here or so on the coffee pot. It fills fairly close to the top. My dog's making noise over there. Dog, why are you doing that? Anyway, now high. This actually overfills it. Like there's this little like top part of the handle. It overfills to that, so it spills over. It's boiling. Really just burns your entire area. It's a fun time. Timer. I mean, that just says how long you want to, brew your coffee for. I mean, you could you could do it for like an hour, 2 hours. How hot do you want it? Sometimes you can just melt the whole thing to buy another new coffee pot. It's a great time. delay. This button here, delay. That's... I mean, you could just delay it, delay the inevitable of life. Anyway. 1 to 4 cups. Again, how many cups do you want? So this little pot under here actually splits into different cups. So 1 cup just stays as is, but it actually can divide itself and then reassemble itself afterwards into multiple cups. It's a very, very nice feature. Classic. It's just classic. Rich. This is a money dispenser. It is great, trust me. Very, very important feature right there. That is how I became the best chef in the world. You take the best ingredients in the world. By hitting that rich button, I was able to do that. Then we have brew/off. This is just inconsistent. You hit it, it brews, and other times it turns off. There's no consistency there. So yeah, it's not fun. RNG. They have to put gotcha into everything nowadays. Then we have clean and warm. My dog wants that apparently. I'll get you in a minute. So clean, this automatically cleans the coffee pot. It's great. And then warm, there's actually like a built-in heat sensor in here and always warms up your coffee. It's part of the newest update actually. That way your coffee doesn't, get cold sitting here and whatnot. But yeah. Anyway, let me talk about a few of the other things that I did not show here. First up, you have grills. So grills, popular item, don't use them. Why don't you use them? Stoves exist. Stoves are just better grills. They taste better. It is what it is. Use a stove, not a grill. That's all I have to say. Moving on, we have smokers. These are even worse than grills and take longer. Like, you're kind of an idiot if you use a smoker. You'll lose so much flavor. It adds this like smoke flavor or whatever, but it doesn't taste good. Stop it. There's also air fryers. Air fryers, oh boy. Air fryers. These aren't real cooking utensils, just no. And the last one I want to cover just quickly, the crock pot. So crock pots are people use to like put things in like casseroles and whatever. Here's the thing about crock pots. If someone says they're making food in a crock pot, you know it sucks. Every time. Anytime someone uses a crock pot, the food sucks. It just does. It's bad. Never use a crock pot. These, like, air fryers aren't real cooking utensils, but they're at least, like, edible, I mean, yeah, just use, like, a stove or an oven or something, but, like, crock pots, man, that just ruins food. Like, whatever ingredients you used, you're just ruining them for the sake of it. Like, why? You just didn't have to do that. There was a better way. But I think that's about it for these kind of extra things. This was not as long. Actually, it was an okay length, now I think about it. But, just want to quickly go over some of the more minor cooking utensils. Not really utensils, but, things to use. Like a sink isn't really a utensil, but anyway. Just some of the more minor things, and talk about why I didn't showcase some of the more major ones. Again, like grills and crockpots, because, well, like I said, grills, worse than stoves. Crockpots, one of the worst things to ever come out of cooking. I apologize for that. There's actually a vote on crockpots for their existence. I did vote against it, but unfortunately I lost in a 6-3 vote, so crockpots exist. My bad. But anyways, that's about it for this video. Be back eventually for another Chef Plays. So yeah, thanks for watching, and bye-bye. I don't really know what to do anymore. Maybe I'd try and do some discussion type stuff. I don't know, like food groups. I guess that could work. Hello guys, it's John for another Chef Blaze, and yeah, this is a weird Chef Blaze. I know, but trust me, we gotta talk about the food groups. So this is one where I don't really have a reason to be standing around talking. So we're just gonna be sitting here looking at the food groups. So there is the food pyramid. This is an old thing that they had, and I actually made my own version of this food pyramid that I'll get into later. But yeah, so this has 6 different food categories. Going from bottom to top is supposed to what you have like the most to least of. I made my own version that I've used. But remember, there's like this new food plate thing. We'll talk about that after. I haven't looked at it yet, but I'll tell you why my food pyramid is like really good, and why This current one isn't very good. So at the bottom here, the one that you're supposed to have the most of. Fruits and vegetables. Why? So, okay, there's that. Then above that, we have, like grains and whatnot. That's above that, alright? Then we have dairy stuff, then meat, then, fats, and at the very top, like junk food, right? So that's the food pyramid as is. Let's rework it real quick. Let me show you kind of how I do my food pyramid. So, first up, we have to actually do a couple things here. So first up, the whole, like, fats and junk food thing. Just combine those into one, honestly. There doesn't need anything else, alright? And then there's, of course, the fruits and vegetables segment. We are just going to count fruits. I am getting rid of vegetables from this because here's the thing. Vegetables suck. They don't taste good. Like, they aren't good at all. There's nothing good about them. If you, like, I don't think they're as good as fruits for you. So just stick to fruits. And again, just don't eat so damn much and you'll be fine. And I'm not saying, like, to not eat. Just don't overeat. Like, damn. Like, you don't need vegetables. Get rid of them. Okay, they're also just inefficient. Like, you could have, like, a piece of chicken. Okay, that's like some substance. You could have, like, a big-ass salad and it's, like, nothing. Like, it's not good. You'll just get bored of eating. That's why they work. It's because it doesn't taste good and you get bored of eating it. That's how people, eat vegetables and stuff. And it's not good. Don't eat them. So we are stripping that from the fruits, and we're just having a fruit category. The other category is meat, dairy, and grains. They can all stay the same. Now, let's start off. So this is a 5-segment food pyramid that I would rework here, okay? So at the bottom, what you're supposed to have the most of, meat. It's the most substantial food. You eat some meat, you get the most out of it. It's great. You could just eat it for a while. You don't have to actually eat that much. Like, look at, like, a burger. You eat a burger. That's a meal. It's great. It's quick and simple. You don't have to have a giant bowl of salad. It's just efficient. That's the best part. And it tastes good. Efficiency plus tasting good is key. Now above that, grain. So grain, this is like your pastas, your macaroni and cheeses, your ramen noodles, bread. It's a pretty solid food group. It's not as substantial, though, as the other one. It's not as efficient, but hey, there's some good stuff here. But the thing is, it's very good when used in conjunction with meat. Like I said, a burger. Yeah, buns. That's grains. That works great. It's nice to have. I like it. Now, above that, the third one here, the kind of the middle one, it's supposed to have, a decent bit of, I'd say dairy. So dairy, like cheese, milk, cheese sticks, the cheese from, like, nachos. Most importantly, the reason to why it is, kind of in the middle segment and not higher, in terms of, like, eating less of it, it's because pizza. You gotta have pizza, at least weekly. It's important to have. Next up we have junk food. Junk food, I think, is like a really good thing to have. It just tastes good, honestly. You shouldn't have like a ton of it. Like, you shouldn't run off it. It shouldn't be your main meal. But I think you have like a little bit per meal, or like a snack or something. It just tastes good, honestly. So yeah, I think it's worthwhile. At the very top, the one you're supposed to have least of, I put fruits up there because I think, fruits, it's not bad to have. Sometimes they're just not substantial enough. They don't give you anything, and like they taste fine, but some of them have special effects. I know bananas help to absorb some sodium from your system, which is good for you. So yeah, fruits, not bad. So that's how this food pyramid should look. Meat is the most important, it's the most substantial. Grains, good addition to it. Dairy, pizza, needs to be there. Junk food, just tastes good. But make sure to have it in moderation. Fruit, have it on, sometimes, maybe like once per day or something, for the sake of, some special properties, right? You scare doctors with apples, you get rid of sodium with bananas. They have special properties, you don't need a lot of them, but just, have one, you're good to go. So that's the food pyramid. And why it's bad and how I rework it, but anyway. I've used that version of the food pyramid for like over a decade. Now let's get into this new food plate thing, okay? I have not looked at this yet, so this will be my first live impressions. I will point out any flaws with it. and I will also point out if it's good. Okay. So, first up, you got a plate, you got like a little side part here, and then you got a fork. I don't recommend eating forks, though, but, anyway. So you clearly see that the plate has 4 things on it, 2 of which are smaller. So the big ones here are grains and vegetables. This is clearly just propaganda right here. This is horrible. Yeah, vegetables, again, these should never be a priority. Like, what is this? I'm convinced that vegetables aren't actually that healthy for you. I think it's all just a big government psyop to try and get people to just have worse food because it's probably easier or something or cheaper or whatever, so they make more money off of it. I don't know. It has to be a psyop because there's no way they're so good for you. Like, nah, this is not true, okay? Also, grains being huge. I'm not against grains being big, but like, that big? Like below protein? Or I mean above protein, rather? No shot. Then you have the smaller segments here. You got fruits and protein. Protein is like meat and whatnot, right? So protein obviously should be on this plate, but again, this should be bigger. Grains and protein, they just need to be swapped here, I think. Or rather, I think grains could stay that size. If you're going to have them like completely even, I think grains and protein being the same size is fine. Fruits, they should not be equivalent to protein. I think they screwed this up pretty badly. And dairy's just like off to the side, being like a small thing. Like, what? You need pizza. What is this? Yeah, this plate clearly sucks. Yeah, this is, again, really pushing that whole government psyop of vegetables. I don't know what they're doing there. It's not good. Yeah, if you want to make a sensible food plate, because I do have 5 food categories for my pyramid, my personal pyramid. So yeah, if you want to rework this one, I think a better way is like the 2 big sections. You can keep grains where it is, but that protein needs to be the other one. For the smaller sections, fruits can stay, and the other small one should be just junk food, and then the little, or not junk, not fruits, sorry. Fruits can't stay there. It can stay on the, like, plate, it's just that it can't, be where it is. It needs to be off to the side, yeah. Now, for the smaller ones, you need, junk food and dairy there, and then, yeah, fruit needs to be off to the side where dairy is, just like a small little extra thing. That's a good food plate, right? That's a great food plate. You know, it's amazing. It's perfect. In fact, I think with this whole system, you know, I think this is actually even easier than a pyramid. I like that. I like the new format. It's just that, yeah, they just didn't do it right. Again, vegetables. What the fuck? I think I need to make a whole chef plays on vegetables and why they're so bad. Like, they're genuinely just terrible. I don't understand this pushing them. Like, yeah, no, this needs to be stopped. Someone needs to put an end to this stuff. So, I'll do that. I'll do it eventually. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the food pyramid. Why it's not good. How I kind of reworked it to work. How, you know, everyone should use it. And then I have to look at this food plate here and how bad it is. But again, you could definitely rework the system. I think it has a nice layout. It could definitely work. Although the only other downside here is, yeah, get rid of that fork. I don't want to do dishes. Just eat with your hands. It's fine. Also, don't eat forks. That is how you, that's just how you lose your vocal cords right there. You know, eat the fork, it's sharp. You know, hits your vocal cords, not a good thing. I like to speak. I have to speak for the people here when I do the Chef Blaze episodes, so don't eat forks. That should probably be taken off there. Fix that. So anyways, that's all for this video. So yeah, thanks for watching, and bye-bye. Maybe, I don't know, vegetables? Hello guys, it's Sean32. We have another Chef Blaze episode. I'm talking about vegetables today because, I hate vegetables. They're terrible. So first up here, we got carrots. So, the thing about vegetables, a lot of them just straight up grow, like, underground. What the hell's that about? Like, you're a plant. You grow above ground. Why are you, like, why are the, you know, the vegetables underground? I think it's a psyop. Anyway. We'll talk about that later. So, carrots, alright? They're orange. Now, you know, on a surface level, that doesn't sound like a bad thing, okay? Orange, that's cool, but here's the thing, you know what? Do you know, a lot of things in the wild are bright colors to warn you that they're bad. Yet, for some reason, we see these bright-ass orange carrots, and we're like, yes, let's eat these. That's a grand idea. I don't think carrots are actually good for you. I don't think vegetables are actually good for you. Again, I think it is it's totally a government psyop. That is a legitimate, serious claim right there. Is a government psyop, okay? Vegetables, they suck. And they are very cheap. Yeah, that's the real thing right there. See, like, all the junk food, like Doritos and, Mountain Dew, that's the good stuff right there. That's actually good for you. McDonald's, it's good. But, vegetables, they're bad. But they're cheap to produce, and they mark up. Why? They do this whole thing, it's on purpose. Like McDonald's, it's cheaper to get, like, a burger than a salad. Because, it's actually cheaper to produce a salad than they claim it's healthier for you. It's not. And then you pay more for it. Then they get more money. They tax it. Anyway. So, carrots are stupid. Again, they're bright orange. That's not really a good thing. Alright, now we get to our next group here. So we just got a bunch of stuff. We got, like, broccoli, spinach, lettuce, kale. Anything that's, like, green and it looks kind of leaf or tree-like. Alright? These are failed, experimented trees and leaves. They're not real. They're synthetic. And I would not recommend eating them. I mean, look at broccoli. I'm probably using that as, like, the thing on the screen here for this whole category, but, like, this just looks like a tree, but mini. It's like a failed experiment. They're like, actually, we could just, like, keep producing these for, food. It's not real. Anyway. Next up here, we got green beans, okay? Green beans. We know what beans look like. This is not a fucking bean. What the hell is that? And it's green. There must be some kind of thing about green being, like, easier or cheaper or something, because they're producing, they're synthetically producing these green beans, and it's not good. I don't know what they're doing here. Like, what is that? That's not a bean. Have you ever seen beans before? They're not like that. Moving on. Peas. What's a pea? Like, seriously, it is some weird green, like a small green orb. It has, like, zero substance, but for some reason, it's just there. Again, these aren't real. They're, like, they're made-up food. Like, there's something or other about, like, oh, the government, they're, like, X amount of years ahead of us technologically, right? So we're just now seeing, like, AI stuff. These are AI-generated foods, making themselves available in the real world. They figure out that technology. It's been going on. We've actually had AI since the 1400s, definitely. So they've been producing these foods and pretending like they're real, even though they aren't. Trust me. Have you ever heard of kale back in, like, the history books? Don't fact check that. Probably not. Anyway. Next up, we got cauliflower. Cauliflower. This one's actually pretty easy. So this is actually a cheaper but failed version of broccoli when they're trying to, like, produce, make it, like, larger. Basically it's bigger, but it's worse. And it doesn't have color. It's just white instead of, like, green from their synthetic green dyes. And also, if you ever cook cauliflower, it smells horrible. Like, geez. If you live with people who want to cook it, tell them not to, or secretly throw it all away. It's horrid. Anyway. With all that said, though, there's actually one vegetable that is acceptable. This was actually the basis of their synthetic versions. All these, this is the one real vegetable, and that is potatoes. Potatoes, they just work. These are real vegetables. They're the one acceptable vegetable. So, remember that. It actually rhymes. That's how you know it's good. So yeah, potatoes, they're all good. But as far as everything else goes, these are all terrible. They're not real. They're not real foods. It's a made up thing. Hopefully this that makes sense. So there you have it. Yeah. Anything that isn't a potato is not a real food. Don't have them. Vegetables are actually bad for you. It's a whole like pyramid scheme with, like, taxes and stuff. Trust me, it makes sense, right? These foods aren't real. They're not in the history books. If they are, again, it's a whole slap. They were not real. Vegetables are actually terrible for you. So, That's all I gotta say. Kind of a short episode, but I just had to give this brief warning on vegetables because again, they're not real. So, anyways, that's all I gotta say. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and bye. All right, good. I probably got them confused now. I just have to keep going. There has to be more stuff I can do, right? Hello guys, it's Sean. Today we're doing another Chef Blaze episode. So, today we're doing cooking, or, we're doing, what are we doing today? I'm on the basics episodes. Future me, cut this part out. We're doing nutrition facts today. Yeah, that's what the intent was for the day. Also, in case you didn't know, yeah, there's a new light here now. I don't like it. It's different, but yeah, we're doing nutrition facts. So I intentionally, very intentionally, chose a cereal box because this is something that I covered in the past. Anyway, so I figured it would be, you know, relatable or whatever. So anyway. So for this, I got a nice bowl of Frosted Flakes. Don't mind anything you just saw there. So we're gonna go over the nutrition facts, and there are some differences here. So I need to give you different specifics on different like versions of stuff. So let's go ahead and fix the focus here, and you can see up there it says nutrition facts. You don't really need that, but yeah, it says about 13 servings per container. No one listens to this. This is a load of shit. How? Who can get 13 servings? I don't care if this is a large size. You're just not getting 13 bowls of cereal out of this thing. So the reason they do this, it's a cover-up. Basically, they want the thing to look healthier here. It really just isn't. So they try anyway, but yeah. I figured I'd give you the insight on that one since I know all about it. But you also got the calories here. Sorry, it's cut off. I know I don't have a lot of space, but you can move up a little bit. So the 130 here is a cereal, and 200 for milk. So if you don't eat your cereal with milk like a heathen, it's better for you. But with milk, it's actually worse. And when you multiply it out to cover for the serving differences and whatnot, it's actually a lot worse. But whatever. So. Anyway, moving on past that, we have some of the other things here. So this box right here, right? This box. My focus is so specific, I hate it, but this is the stuff that's just always there. Like on any food, all these statistics, they're always there. You can't escape them, so you better get used to them. So first up here, you got total fat. All right, you also got everything in Spanish because it's cool to have other languages, America does not have a, official language. But anyway. So the total fat here, 0 grams, 0%. So this is a whole, like, daily value thing or whatever. But, yeah, so no fat in here. It's not bad to have some fat, but it has none. So I guess that's even better. You also, yeah, your saturated fats, your trans fats, those are actually a lot worse for you, but 0 for all that, so you're all good. And then we have polysaturated fat and monosaturated fat. I've heard of these before, but doesn't have any, so we gotta worry about it. Great. Anyway, you also have the cholesterol, so 0 and 0. Great. And then you got sodium. So sodium, this is a thing that's well known for giving people heart attacks and other heart problems. You don't really want sodium too much. This has 190 grams of it, which is really not ideal for cereal, especially when you consider the serving sizes are bullshit. So this is actually pretty terrible. It has, yeah, that's what, 8%? Anyway, also carbohydrates, I mean, you kind of expect that. It's cereal, 33 grams, 12%. Not great, but yeah, to be expected. Also, dietary fiber, a gram. Could we have not just excluded that? Anyway, 4%. You also got sugar. So it has 12 grams of sugar, and there's no percentage here, so if you see like actual content of something like this, 12 grams, but you don't see a percentage, that's because they're embarrassed about it. See, I gotta tell you, the grams, they really are trying to cover up the fact that this is, cereal's actually terrible for you, so they don't show it, because they don't want you to know the real percentage. We also got here, what's that? Included sugars, another 12%. Well, that says 24%. I think this is an addition error or something, but yeah. Regardless, your sugars, it's not looking too good for you. Proteins, 2 grams. You can't have cereal without protein. Apparently. Now, this box, you see, like, there's this nice black line. This is actually a really clever design, but the reason for that is because these other things below said line, these are different depending on the box. So, like, if you get like a bag of chips, it might be different things here. This is like your store exclusives and whatnot. Really cool. So this one is vitamin D, 2 mcg. I know what that means, but I'm not going to say it. And yeah, you get your other measurements all over here with milk and whatnot. So I guess you could follow along with that. I'm just going off of the base ones because listen, it's fair enough to just follow along with the base ones because the serving size don't make sense anyway. So we'll just go with one measurement. I don't want a calculator. I mean, I have a phone right here, but like I don't really want to use it because not because it's off for reasons, but anyway. So yeah, vitamin D. We also got some calcium. Apparently, yeah, none of it. But yeah, this one's actually special though because it goes up significantly if you use milk, which that actually does make sense. But also iron, 7.2 milligrams, 40%. That's a lot of iron. So I guess you're iron deficient. There you go. Potassium, 30 milligrams. Sure. Guess you get a little bit of potassium. They also got this stuff, which is these two words. They're words. Don't worry, they're 20%. Vitamin B6, 20% as well, and then another word here of 30%. The vitamin B12. I say B12 or B6. I always said B6. This is B12. This is also 20% though, so it doesn't matter. B6 and B12 are both 20. And then yeah, you can see here there's this whole little fine print about daily values and how much of the nutrition you're supposed to get or whatever, and that basically it's a fine print to tell you that this is actually terrible for you, but we don't want you to know that, so we're going to put it in very, very small text underneath it all, and hope you don't read that far. I mean, who actually reads these nutrition facts? That's why I'm here to tell you all about it, because I have extensive, very, very extensive knowledge for sure on this stuff. Under here, you got your ingredients. Again, you got the Spanish stuff here. This is whatever, so this is the last part. But for this one, you can see you got milled corn, sugar, malt flavor, whatever that means. And also contains 2% or less of salt, despite the sodium in here being 190 milligrams and 8% of your daily value. So don't worry about that. It's fine. Totally very fine right there. You also got your other things, your vitamins and minerals, but let's be honest, who actually cares? So those are the nutrition facts. This is definitely an episode that I needed to cover. Another thing that I really needed to cover before we get to any other cooking stuff. It's very important. So nutrition facts. There you go. Those are the rules on them. So I think that's all for this video. So yeah, thanks for watching, and bye-bye. Alright, I gotta figure out more recipes. Let's see. Oh, a pan. Just what I needed. Hello guys, it's Jonathan here doing a Chef Blaze episode. I have a burger to make today, so I do actually know how to cook stuff, for sure. First up, we do have a pan. The burger already on it. I do everything ready already, it's just that usually I'd show getting the stuff, but budget cuts. So I have the burger on the pan already though, so we're all good. We'll put that over there. We'll get to that in a minute. As far as the other stuff here, I do have a napkin, also a spatula, because I guess you need that. Also, I already have a plate ready with a bun. So We'll have to open it, get some action there. Put that there for now. Also, ketchup. Basically, that's just good for, you know, making sure the burger is not too dry, which is very important. And then also, I got some seasoning of sorts. It's actually bagel seasoning, but it's actually my hidden technique for making burgers is to use bagel seasoning. So, unfortunately, I did have to hold the camera for most of this episode, which is gonna suck. This is gonna look awful, but again, you know, budget cuts. I couldn't get the moving tripod, so here we are. Now, first up, let's make the lighting not atrocious by turning on. Turning on the light. See the burger there. Now, one important note is before you make a burger, you always have to make sure your dogs are inside. So we want to let the dogs in before doing anything else. So get in here. The other one we'll get to her later. I don't know what she's doing over there. Or not. You just stay out there. Now, before we do anything else, we also have to put the tin foil over here. So you gotta put tin foil over here. So I'll explain why. But basically, you start putting tin foil by your cooking area. Now, you might be wondering, are you making crack? No, I'm not making crack. The idea behind this, alright, this is actually a very hidden technique. Any good chef should know this. But this actually catches a lot of like the, you know, like the grease or whatever when it like flies out of the pan. So by doing this, it makes it to clean up less. And in my case, I just don't clean up at all. You can just pretend like, oh, I thought I cleaned up, and they'll look back. Well, I guess it's mostly clean because, you know, you put the tin foil here, and then you just don't clean it. You just pretend like you already did. It's great. So you can see a bunch of tin foil. Again, not making anything nefarious. It just works. So now we have the most difficult part, and also, yes, doubles like a spatula holder. The most difficult part of all. Turning on the stove, alright? Stoves are a massive problem to turn on. I hate every second of this, but unfortunately, it has to be done. So I will be turning on the stove. So this is a very careful shit. Okay, it's not on. It's a very careful process. Always make sure to like wave away any gas that you might have started. But yeah, starting the stove sucks. It's inconsistent, doesn't make any sense. It's a careful process, right? You gotta really time it, really be careful. Alright, well, let's try this. Okay, almost just burned my house down, but we're fine. So, now we stand here, and we gotta wait for the burger to cook. This is a pretty lengthy process, so I'll just be standing here for a while. This is also a big-ass burger. It's also a pretty misshapen burger as well. I don't know what happened to it, but you know, actually the reason is because I wanted to show you a misshapen burger, because you actually make it normal again and be fine. It works well. So now I'm just gonna stand here, wait for the burger to cook again. We'll be standing here a while. I'll probably just come in and out of the video so you're not standing here for 84 years, but yep, this is the burger making process. It is boring as hell. Alright, you hear that? Been standing here for a minute now. You hear it sizzling, see a little steam coming off. So we are making some progress on the burger. Nothing crazy, but still, you got some progress happening there. So once you got it going a little bit, I'd also recommend like just kind of pushing it down a little bit to help us to reform the burger. You see it kind of moves out a little bit. No, that's definitely very effective. Alright, so it's been sizzling for a while now. It's a big ass burger, so it'll take a while to cook, but I think it's time to flip the burger. This is a pretty crazy moment, but your spatula, you lift the thing up, which I don't have a second hand right now. This is actually a really bad idea. There we go. And you flip it. There, yeah, see that? That was some high octane stuff right there. And I can see like this whole side's like actually looks like a burger now. Unfortunately, I had to do this quite a bit because again, it's a big ass burger, but eventually it'll start to look normal or something. I don't. Actually, no, I do know what's happening. Trust me. It's a very normal average meal that I cook. Very frequently. I'm actually a burger making expert. Should always use a stove for a burger. As I mentioned before, grills are stupid, so this is the way to go here. Alright, probably flip this burger yet again. I'm not going to show every single flip because burgers can take about 45 minutes to cook, so I'll show you the second one though just to see that. Yeah, again, this is not a good idea. Okay, this is actually going horribly. One second. Alright, I did end up flipping the burger. No, I did not break the burger or my entire setup. Everything is under control and it is fine. Also worth noting, the outside of the burger looks pretty cooked for quite a while, but takes about 2 minutes. The inside does take the other 43 minutes, so yeah, you'll be here for quite some time, unfortunately. While it's still cooking, you see like the shape of the burger is beginning to recover, as I was saying, so trying to get this last like edge here to really become more circular and whatnot, but it's actually going pretty alright, I would say. Okay, I got the other dog in, so you know it's about time for this thing to be like fairly close to being done, I guess. Alright, it's time for the seasoning. So you just kind of, there you go. That's a mess, but when you flip the burger, it kind of works. I know it looks bad, but trust me, it's a hidden technique or something or other, I think. Alright, do it to the other side, and then I'll do like one more flip or something to let that properly season itself. The outside's definitely cooked, it's just that this burger is fat as hell, so really gotta make sure the inside's like not cooked. Otherwise you get salmonella, and you die. I'm not trying to do that. It's like May. If it was like, I don't know, January, I might reconsider, but May's like pretty nice, I guess. Alright, the burger's looking about done now, hopefully. So you go ahead, you do that, make sure that's off. Now you finally go back on the tripod, so this won't look absolutely abysmal. That's probably, helpful. Okay, yeah, that's off. So, go ahead, fix that. And now, let's go ahead, grab my burger from off of this, put it on the bun. You can see it is well cooked, well seasoned, everything's fine. Also, my dog, you sneezed, okay. Okay. Try and get the little extra parts that like fell off. There we go. Why are you okay over there? Glad you're on the floor, not getting on my burger. I'll have to throw us away. So there's the burger. Let me try and make sure my zoom is, or no, that's actually okay. There we go. So yeah, that's a burger. Other dogs drinking water, they always make noise. I don't know what the problem is. And the last thing you do here, get some ketchup. You put it a little bit. You don't want too much. Only want to make sure your mouth isn't dry. And then you grab the bun. You just kind of twist to make sure the ketchup is like moved around, like that. And then you're good. I made a burger. This is the most impressive thing I've ever done on Chef Blaze. It's something that I definitely, again, know how to do. I'm experienced in this. in this art form. So yeah, a burger. But you didn't see that one coming, so I think that's all I have for today. This is definitely a successful thing. And yeah, thanks for watching, and bye-bye. There has to be something else. I don't... Is there anything? Hello guys, it's JohnMaster100 here. Today I have a Chef Blaze. I have something for this episode. Or wait, no, I already did that. I don't think I have anything else anymore. Hey, dumbass. Wait, what? Is that... Huh? It's your past self. Stop. My... What? Yeah, what are you still doing making Chef Blaze episodes? None of this is real. What are you talking about? I'm trying to record one right now. I just made an episode. It's not real. There were a few things I never did, like Blaze Reacts. I was going to watch some old videos and talk about them, but I never did that. Or Blaze Plays, where I play some just random games. Never did that either. And then Chef Blaze. It's supposed to be like a meme cooking series, but I also never got around to doing that either. No, that's not right. I know I've been making these. It's what I've been doing. I've done these for almost a decade now. That's a load of shit. I'm just gonna keep doing these. I just need to figure out more recipes or other ideas. I could do more basics episodes. Maybe I'll figure out the grill or something and do that. Or I could do other things, kind of like the food groups episode. There's things I could do. It sounds great if this was 2017, but it's 2025 now. You gotta stop. These aren't funny anymore. It was great when you were maybe 16 or 17, but you're 24 now. This is old. It's sad. This was a fun series when you were in high school, but you stopped doing them, you lost your touch, you lost your edge. There's no point to these anymore. No, but I could modernize them. I could try new ideas. There's plenty of things I could do. I could make more recipes. I could figure more stuff out. I'm sure I can make Chef Blaze work nowadays. You can learn 100 more recipes. It doesn't matter. The intrigue of this series is gone. Nothing you could do now will ever measure up to the old ones. Just stop. But I've already made, like, 10 episodes. That has to mean something. I still have some creativity left. It was always a bad idea. That's all it is. An idea. What are you talking about now? Like I said, none of this is real. Just stop. Oh, and one last thing. Take this. Huh? If you ever feel the urge to do Chef Blaze again, don't. Just use this. Trust me. Goodbye. What is this? I don't... USB? You know, I did think about bringing back Chef Blaze, but I don't know. It's been over 5 years. I don't really think it'd be as funny now, so I'll probably just leave the 17 episodes as is and call it a day. What do you think, Odie? Wait, what am I doing now? Oh yeah, I never did bring back Chef Blaze. I was supposed to go make a Beyblade video or something, right? Yeah, that sounds about right.